Hello guys, this is Tarun from Testing Gyan. In our today's video, we will continue with other request methods which are put, patch and delete. So let us start.
Now the first request in the list is put request. Put simply means putting something into the original resource. That is the resource which we have created. We are modifying that resource by adding some additional information. We are updating that original resource. Okay. Put can also be used to create a new resource in some cases, and making identical put request have the same behavior. As nothing is going to change, it will just keep on updating the same resource every time. So this is a idempotent behavior. Okay, in case of success we get 200 okay message when we are having the response body, and if there is no response body, there is no content at all, then we get the 204. And if we are creating something using put request, then we get the 201 created. Now let us understand more about this request by taking an example. In our last video we created an issue using the post request, which is issue 1, and the description was issue 1 with postman. In our today's video we are going to modify this issue using the put request. To do that, I have created this put request in my postman. Here you can see the method type is put. Okay, and then I am having the Jira base URL and the issue key, that is the issue key which we created last time, and we are getting it from the environment variables. Just a minute. Yeah, so this is the issue key and issue ID. So issue key is test11. Okay, now I'm going to update this same issue key with new description, which is issue 1 with postman REST API put request. Okay, now if I run this request, you can see I'm getting the response code 204 as there is no content of the response body. Now let us see in the Jira. So in Jira, if I refresh this URL test11, the issue key is test11. So you can see the description is being changed. It is updated to issue 1 with postman REST API put request. So this is how we can make use of put request in postman. Now let us move to the next request, which is patch request. Now patch request is also used to modify. It's like applying patch to the bugs in your software, like we give some patch to fix that bug so that your work is not stopped. In same way, patch request is used to update the resource, that is modifying the resource, creating a new resource from it with the help of updated details. So the main difference between put and patch request is like put basically in most of the scenarios put modifies the complete body, okay, and keep the original resource intact. Okay, and in case of patch request we specify the section of the resource which has to be modified, okay, and it creates a new version of the resource. So generally patch request is non-idempotent but can be issued in such a way so that it become a idempotent. Now let us understand more about this request by taking an example. Now to understand this patch request, I am going to use a very popular CRM. In fact, it is more than a CRM, which is Salesforce. Now let us see how we can make a patch request. Okay. Now in order to do that, first I am creating few post requests. The first request is simply generating the authorization token for me. Okay. I am passing on these details like username, password, client ID, client secret, and the grant type as password in order to connect Postman via API to the Salesforce. I have a documentation link available for this. I will share it in the video links so that you can also refer how to link your Salesforce account with the Postman. Okay, and now based on these details, which is a form data body type here, based on these details it will generate a authorization token for me. Okay, and this authorization token is basically a bearer token and will be used in the further requests. Okay, now let me run it. So you can see it has generated a authorization token, this one. Okay, and like in the Jira request, I'm here having the Salesforce base URL, okay, which is set in my variable section, and then I'm having password, client ID, client secret. These are my environment specific variables which are there in the environment section variables. Okay, now let's move to the next request, which is again a post request, so that we can run a patch request after this. So this post request is simply creating the account. Okay, now in order to create the account, in the last request we created an access token. Here you can see in the authorization section of this post request for create account, I am having the access token added as a authentication here. Okay, you can see authentication type is OAuth 2.0 and I am using the access token generated here to authorize my API. Okay, and in the header section I'm simply specifying the content type, and in the body I'm specifying the name of the account which I want to create and its status as active. Okay, at the end of this account creation, I'm running a post script which is simply storing the created record ID into some variable in the Salesforce, these environment variables. Okay, here exactly as you can see the record ID environment variable, right? Okay, now if I run this request, so you can see it has created an account with record ID is this. Okay, now if we take a look in the Salesforce application, if I use the created record ID here in the URL, I will just change the record ID which is just created and I will navigate to that URL. Okay, so you can see the account is created with the same detail which is postman account 1. Okay, so this way we can use the post request to create the account. So now let's come to the main request, which is patch request. So we are just going to modify a small part of this existing resource, which is my postman account 1. I am saying let's modify its name to postman account updated, and this is a resource URI which will be used to do that. Okay, and in the resource URI end you can see I'm using the environment variable record ID which is being created in the last request because of that post script. Okay, now if I run this request, you can see it is giving me 204 no content as there is no content of the body. Now if we take a look at the application, okay, if I refresh this URL, so you can see the original resource is modified to the postman account updated. Okay, so this way we can use the patch request in case of postman. Okay, now let us move to the next request, which is the final request, delete request. So as the name suggests, delete request method is used to delete some resource. That is, like in our last request we created a Jira issue, right? We can delete that Jira issue with delete request. We created an account record in Salesforce, we can delete that account record in Salesforce, right? On successful execution we get 200 OK and 204 in case there is no response body content. Generally HTTP spec wise delete operations are idempotent. Like when we call a delete method, it will delete the record. Okay, and when the next time we are going to run it is mainly going to give me 404 not found or something, but still we consider it as a idempotent because it's not going to change anything. Now let us see how we can use this delete request. So in our last video we created a issue, then in our this video we used put request to modify that issue in Jira. So I'm going to use this delete method now to delete that issue. So if I run this, send here, okay, so you can see it has deleted the record and we get the response code at 204 no content. Now if I go to Jira application and refresh this URL, you can simply see you don't have access to this issue because this issue is being deleted. Similarly, we can use this delete method in case of Salesforce as well. Here I am simply deleting the record which we created last time. Okay, let me change environment to Salesforce. Okay, now if I run this, okay, you can see again 204 no content. And if I go to Salesforce application now and refresh this URL, you can see looks like there is a problem because that record is being deleted. So this is how we can use put, patch and delete request. I hope you guys are able to understand. In case of any questions or queries, please let us know over the video comments. We will try our best to answer those queries. Thank you.